All right, welcome to this part 2 of a previous video that I did. I'm not sure if I'm going to post this. Welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back. If you have, my intention is unity and oneness. I want to go into a little wordplay flow about whatever the guides have to share in regards to the energies that are coming in. So, as we tune into these frequencies and energies, we transmit a signal. We send out a signal that says, I am listening. It says, I am open to that which I am receiving. It is an acknowledgement of sorts and a triunification from one perspective. We are unifying in a myriad of ways, and as we tune into the signals that are being transmitted, we allow ourselves to combine those frequencies. And right now we may be referencing channeling as a way of tuning in, but it is not channeling in this particular way. It is a matter of each human opening as the transmitter and transistor that they already are, allowing the flow of conduction, play on words, coming through the body so that the orchestration or conduction can be conducted at a certain frequency. We are relying on many different material electronics at this time to provide us with information. And in this particular transmission, we wish to convey that you are that which is the electricity that runs through the electronics, that creates the energy that allows the flow and conductivity of information to be accessed. And you are also the information that is accessing the information. And so from a linear perspective, we receive information through a transmission that is sent through a signal or an airwave or the internet, if you will, and we then harness that information and are able to access it because of that field of interconnectedness. And what if there was no internet? How then would this information, such as what we are sharing now in this type of format, be received? And it is merely because of the human template being available and saying yes to receiving this information and transmitting it through this filtration and interpretation of a communication that at this moment is being utilized through speech, words, flow, or a path of energy that is said through letters and formation of letters in a syntax or sentence of information, so on and so forth. The field holds much to be received, and it is difficult to receive this type of energy, this type of information in this type of font or communication if you are not in your center or allowing yourself to receive through the center that is the motherboard, if you will, that allows you to compute this type of information and then signal that you are ready for more. We are sharing this message because each and every one of us has a way of unifying with this type of energy and information. And there is this need that is being met for the desire of the human to know more, and is being done through artificial intelligence, although all intelligence is just that. But we would invite you to recognize that you are that is tuning or creating the artificial intelligence. And so can you see that you are beyond that which you are seeking to control? You are beyond that which you are seeking to give your control over to. we would invite each and one of you to tune into your own template, your own skin suit, your own transmission system for within your own wiring, inner temple, if you will, template, is a frequency made of stone, made of crystal, lattice work combinations, frequency, and enzymatic compilations that are part of the human transistor, that are part of the antennae, if you will, that can be felt or seen through the eye template, through the ears and inner cochlea. That is I'm just seeing a Fibonacci spiral. And this is the way your ancestors did it, if you will. This is the way the indigenous people were able to harness the energy and the template of the earth structure to better stabilize their own frequency and future. So we would invite those of you who are open to tuning into you. For each of you holds a pattern, if you will. Each of you holds what we've referred to as the snowflake pattern. And because of that, your own resourcefulness to be able to acquire, if you will, information is enhanced if you are able to stabilize your own vibration. Think of yourself as a guitar, and the strings that you have inside of you are plucked or tuned at different times based on the energy that is streaming through them. The sound that is created from, I'm seeing wind chimes, like when the wind hits the wind chimes, or when air plucks the strings. The sound that is created is coming from your own internal reservoir. This internal reservoir, many are not attuned to. Many are so attuned to the electricity that is encompassed in the virtual reality that each and every one of us is sinking into and up with, that is interacting with not only on a daily basis, but we would venture to say throughout the day, in almost every moment throughout the day. It is not that we are saying you need to or disengage or detach yourself from that, but we would also invite you to recognize that you are a harmonic adjuster. You have come here to Earth to harmonize with that which you are harmonically and organically templated with. You were co-created, we might say, together. For you all hold the majority. That's a play on words. You hold the carbon, the crystallization, I'm hearing enzymatic characterization that are part of the template of the human instrument. And so why would you continuously look outside of yourself before going within to ask yourself, what is inside? What have I been able to understand because of my own abilities? What is there for me to further interpret based on my own recognition, my own ability to tune in and recognize the sounds that are coming from creation, that are coming from that which I have created and that which I am currently streaming through in creation with. We would invite you to tune into that so you may co-create with that. And in doing so, the disorganization that many are picking up on becomes less disorganized. the template in the human begins to interpret the energies in a much more cohesive manner. And we are able to utilize these currencies in a much more efficient manner. Rate of efficiency. We begin to uptick, if you will. We begin to respond in a much faster dynamic equilibrium in which we can co-create in a live stream. And as we do this, we begin to template in a different way. We begin to, I'm being called to play with that. So I will. We're just gonna play with this just for a moment. I mean, I know most of us know what a template is, but what they're wanting me to draw my attention to is that we're templating it. So it's a play on words. So let's go through the definitions of template. We have the human template. We are templating into this reality. We are creating through a new template or structure, temple. So template, a shaped, so I'm just kind of Googling this to start, and then I'll go into the etymology. So it's a shaped piece of metal, wood, card, plastic, or any other material used as a pattern for processes. Number one, something that serves as a model for others to copy. A preset format in computing for a document or file used so that the format does not have to be recreated each time it is used. I feel like this is valuable as well. And in biochemistry, a template is a nucleic acid molecule that acts as a pattern for the sequence of assembly of a protein, nucleic acid, or other large molecule. It's also used to distribute the weight in a wall or under a support. This is so much fun. I mean, are you guys seeing how many different ways we can use just that one word template? And of course, I hear plate, that which holds something, a plate, right? Like our food, our nutrients, but also our temple, our house. And let's just play with that briefly. So it was originally, they're saying in 17th century, was template, probably from temple with E-T. I love that. Extraterrestrial. And they changed it due to plate. So now, if I play with this for a moment, I lost the etymology, probably because I clicked on more, so bear with me. According to Etymonline, a horizontal piece under a girder or beam. So that has to do with construction. Weaver's stretcher. I think that's interesting. You know, that stretcher, the weave that you create. A temple, of course, a plank or rafter. Consecrated place. So I feel like, the figurative sense of any place regarded as occupied by divine presence. Okay. So now that you have seen the diversity in which we can use the word template, we invite you to let in your own energetic confluence with the energies that you hold inside your own temple. For that is being reconstructed. You might say it is being born again. You might say that which is held within is coming up through the rafters. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing roof, barrel, like a lot of these plays on words, the shape of the barrel, right? Which I just drew in a previous video, which I don't think I posted. And also floating, right? Coming up, and also a beam, a stake. So it's beaming. I'm just seeing that as a reference to light. And so as you recognize that much of the information that was bound up inside of your own, ooh, I'm hearing reclamation, incantation is coming up, and we are beginning to have access to, we'll call them hidden scripts, hidden scripture. And we become the scribe to therefore transcribe what has been written inside this whole time. We become more familiar with the information that is held within the documentation that is the vessel, that is the human template. And because of this, we begin to send out the signal that we are ready for more. And knock, I'm hearing knock in the door and open the door. So it's this reference to when we knock, the door opens and we begin to say, okay, it's happening naturally. We don't have to ask for it necessarily. But when we acknowledge that we're receiving something, we acknowledge the presence of something within us. That is the asking from one perspective. That is like, okay, I am in I'm hearing reverence. Like we begin to become in more reverence of the human template. And we're like, wow, this is pretty magical. This is pretty exciting. And then that literally sends out this ripple that the universe responds by sending us more, because that is part of our own transmission system. And why would this be something that we would want to connect with or interpret? And we would venture to say, because you are each and every individual snowflake, part of the field that is the quantum, that is the fractal of the whole unified field. So therefore you have access to whatever your heart desires, if you will, or what is written on the transcription of the inner innate heart intelligence. As each individual has their own inner reflection, each individual will hold a different, I'm hearing charge of compression. And this is the beauty of the unity, of the diversity in the sea of unification. And words have no ability to truly transmit or transcribe the energy in which we are describing here. You are sending out a signal or sound or light that is so bright, it cannot be categorized within your own human linear template of understanding. And so we invite you to open to that which you are. And as you recognize the star from within, as each, I'm hearing star is born, as each and every one of you opens to this original grand template design, you are simultaneously designing new templates. You are simultaneously designing new architecture and new ways of interacting with this reality structure, with this new reality template, with this new diversification of dimensions or dimensional exchange. And this is the quantum becoming part of the everyday experience, or the recognition of the connection in all things, or spooky action at a distance, right here, right now. So we invite you to, right here, right now, to dive into your own space of energetic confluence, influence, frequency, transduction, play on words. And from this, you create a chemical reaction that stabilizes the frequency not only inside of you, but stabilizes the frequency that is felt through the field of all frequency. And the more of you that do this, or that I'm hearing transcribe, but subscribe, when you hit the subscribe button, the more of us that subscribe to this inner action, inner knowingness, obviously the bigger impact it has on the, I'm hearing greater creator. Whenever the guides use the word greater creator, it has to do with our brain. And that's a whole other video. The template in our brain, our synapses begin to fire different. And that's part of what the guides are talking about when we send out that signal. It's like the neurons are seeking to connect with other neurons. They're firing at a different rate, and it allows for this chemical reaction to start to unfold inside of the body. And as we allow this, as we acknowledge this, as we come back into a place of coherence, compassion, neutrality, and communication, but at a different level, what happens is we become that new human, and we become that intelligence that we already are, but we begin to access more of it. And what I keep seeing is the DNA unfolding, and I'm hearing the ribonucleotides. Anyways, these ribbons unfurl, and just like a script, just like a scroll, that's what I was trying to say earlier, I'm hearing stop scrolling and subscribe. But it's like, read it. We can then read what's been hidden inside of this template for a long time. And I'm seeing like hieroglyphs, like all of a sudden we're going to look at a hieroglyph and we're going to know what it says or what it represents, or we're going to feel like, I just had this idea, and it's going to create this ping, and that's going to help us create energetically the changes that we want to see in the world. So in love and light, more to come. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and playing with this wordplay, and namaste.